These experiments will actually become your life-altering experiences because you never know what you're going to take from it. When I took up shooting weddings, I never thought that I would be shooting it for a very long time. So when I shot the first wedding, that was a life-altering experience for me because I was like, okay, I can do this. There's
Especially when you
confidence.
came in with a different perception
Correct.
altogether.
Correct. So I just didn't see it as something I could do or like something I would enjoy. But like over the years, I cannot tell you how I absolutely love it, you know, and genuinely I miss it doing right now. So it's cumulative experiences. Like I said, it's you know, you could take this as an example, or working with Church Seed Social as their culture manager and meeting a whole bunch of people, and then the whole Airbnb leading into the startup, and even the startup not working and me having to suddenly, like, you know, the startup shut down and I moved down before that. But that whole experience of suddenly you being put in a different, like a very precarious position where you're like, okay, do I look for another job or do I figure out what to do? Like all of these things have been like life-altering experiences in some senses, but I guess it really depends on what you want to do. Like, you know, if you have the opportunity to pick and choose between what experiments you want to do throughout your life, then you should. You totally should, because these experiments will actually become your life-altering experiences because you never know what you're going to take from it. Like I started earning money, and then I was like, okay, eventually I said, okay, I'm going to save. And then I saved up for my like first ever solo trip, which was I went to Bali in 2015 for a couple of weeks. And then when I was in Bali, everybody was like, hey, why you just, where are you going next? Then I was like, going back home. What do you mean? They're like, oh, okay. Then I realized that these guys, mostly Westerners, I barely met any Indians who are doing this. They're like, yeah, we're just like traveling for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. Yeah. Because they have opportunities to work in different countries, something called working holiday visas, where, you know, if you're from the UK, you can go to Australia. I mean, if you're from a whole bunch of countries that come under this agreement that countries have made with each other, you get to go to these countries and you get to like work and be on holiday, and you get 1 year or whatever, which I don't know if it's extendable, not extendable. And like you use that money to travel wherever.
Live your life.
In the UK, there's something called gap year, which is like after school, before college, before uni.
Can you imagine trying to implement that here?
That's crazy, right? I mean, we are so focused on like a career. It's like set like such rigid like societal goals that there are, that we don't give ourselves a lot of wiggle room for like you know, doing things. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to save up and then I'm going to travel until my money runs out. So I saved up a certain amount of money, and then in 2017 I just left, and I came back after 4 months. And it was like insane. It was like,
was the itinerary kind of planned out?
Nothing.
What are you saying?
Nothing was planned. I mean, like in terms of, I thought I would go to, I mean, Southeast Asia was the plan.
Right.
I thought I'd spend like a month in each country or something, whatever
but nothing
visa
was
allowed
set.
me. Nothing was set. The only thing set was the day when I arrived, the hostel that I would stay at. Literally, that was the only thing set. I went with, I think, 11 kilos of baggage. Wow. Yeah. And that's it.
But how did you do that? I mean, isn't there like a checklist from the visa perspective?
So that's the thing, you got to work around it. So like, you know, you get for Thailand, you get visa on arrival for like 14 days, for example.
Yeah.
But if you apply before, you can apply for a 2-month visa.
Got it.
Which is still a travel visa.
Yeah.
And it's not a visa on arrival, so you got to apply it before.
Yeah.
Here, like how you apply for other countries.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you get it.
But do you not need to show all these?
I mean, you just need to show like the exit that you're going to leave the country. So I just booked a random flight, which was a very cheap flight from Thailand to Cambodia, which was I think 1,200 or 1,500 rupees.
Right.
And I was okay to lose that money because I was like, if it's going to get me the visa, that's fine. It doesn't matter in the long run.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just saved up and I left. And I think for me, that was extremely a significant experience because it really opened up my world to experimenting actually, and seeing how a lot of people see living as a joyful experience, not as something where you are like, you're a child and then you do certain things and then you get married and then you have kids and you go through the same thing. Right? And it really opened up my eyes to so many different kinds of experiences. Meeting people from all over the world, and it teaches you a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things. It's like suppose I met you at a hostel and we had a great bond. Like 2 days later, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then you have to make a friend again. Yeah. Imagine doing that for 4 months.
Yeah.
You don't have a constant, you don't have constant companion the whole way.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll meet you later in another country 2 months later. And that experience is even amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, in that sense, that gave me some goal where I'm like, okay, I'm really going to do this. I'm going to keep saving up. I'm going to keep traveling as much as possible. That might change at some point.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Priorities might change.
Yeah. But like when I did this, that's really what I wanted to do. It's just like setting a small goal and setting a small fund for it and doing it.
Yeah.
So that whole experience of saving up, actually doing the trip and actually coming back with a whole bunch of experiences that I can look back on right now is like, it was literally the most amazing thing. And it doesn't have anything to do with like a lot of people say, oh man, you traveled, that was like very lucky, or like, I mean, of course, like a certain, I understand that the privilege that I have to be able to make these choices, I understand that. But I mean, these are people that also have the same amount or same kind of privilege that I have, which is like being born, in a fairly decent family, where you don't have to really support your family's existence from from your living, right? They're not surviving on your expense, your earnings.
Yeah.
So in that sense, like, it was not luck. It's just like a choice that I made, and it's a choice anybody can make.
There's so many things that go behind that choice.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. And it's a choice that anyone can make, right? And that choice could have been anything else. I could have saved that whatever money I saved for that travel to start my own startup.
It could be anything.
If I had an idea, if I wanted to do something.
Yeah. Those first few steps are still the same as what you're saying.
It's exactly the same. How you approach something, right? How the way in which you go about it is different from person to person. But the idea that like you have and you want to see that idea to fruition, then the steps are somewhat similar, which is like you plan for it and then you figure it out and then you try it and you just dive deep into it.
Right.
Yeah. And in that sense, that was, I think, the most this thing. And it I think also my interactions with friends after about travel and just about generally living in a new place or going and meeting different people really opened up, and it really opened my perspective to a lot of things in that sense.
But you were already that sort of person, man, to some extent. Now you're just like breaking open that door and like breaking down those walls.
And I just want to continue to do that. And like exactly, and I will do more experimenting at this point, because I have that experience and I'm going to take that and do a lot more and use this to do a lot more things. That doesn't necessarily mean just like I keep traveling all the time, which would be wonderful.
Yeah.
But like also doing other things and
keep a balance.
And picking up other passions or professions or like just random side projects.
Yeah.
For example.
And this was you decided to travel when you were freelancing itself?
This is when I was actually working.
Is it?
Yeah.
So how did you get that option to travel?
I quit this startup that I was working with. Shut down about 6-7 months before I started traveling, because I would have used all of this money which I was saving up to travel.
Got it.
So suddenly I was in this position where I was like, okay, what's going to happen? So then I again consulted with another startup, then and took up some freelance assignments here and there, and somehow I was like, it's not the goal that I wanted to. Would have liked to travel for a little longer or saved up a little more money.
Yeah.
But it's fine, I wasn't complaining.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.